Hi, it's the Tiny One / Bishie, and let's play some more Final Fantasy XIV. I and the group I was part of felled Ifrit, and Ifrit was a big, scary-looking puppy. And Thancred was he was kind of beating himself up over the fact that he had sent little tiny me to deal with the problem, and the problem turned out to be a lot bigger than we thought. But let me see what Minfilia has to say. A hero in the making. Oh, I love this one. Minfilia is wearing a weary smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? I love this one. Yeah. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But to your character and courage, you were raised in the esteemed post of envoy. Therefore, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. I love these guys. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I'm given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero in their midst. I hear a kid outside. I hope y'all can't hear it on the recording. If you can, I'm sorry. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of LIMSALOMINSA, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. She's like, As you can see, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. I feel like I have a slightly stuffy nose, and I don't know it's because of the fires that are going on around me that are dropping ash. Not a lot, but like enough to be noticeable from the sky, along with allergies or what. But if you can hear it, my voice, I'm so sorry. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard of you. I find myself wondering how word of Tiny's deeds spread so quickly that the immortal flame should know of his triumph is to be expected. But what of the other grand companies? Uh-oh. Your reputation precedes you, Master Bishie. I did not account for that. Oh my god. Master Bishie sounds way too close to masturbation, and I am dying inside. Oh my god. I am so sorry. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh. Oh no. I gotta take a drink of coffee. Oh my god. No. Ooh. Okay, deep breath. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face the primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure the peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Bishie. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the UL'DAH and their dread primal, yours was already a respected name in UL'DAH. Our people know you and love you well. A man of your talents belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future in UL'DAH. So, like I said in my stream, so my streaming character, Izuna, started in GRIDANIA. So, I haven't done it yet, but when I go time to pick a grand company, he's going to join the Twin Adders, which is GRIDANIA. Since tinybishie is started in UL'DAH, he's going to join the Immortal Flames. And Silent Ghost, when I get to this point with her, since she started in LIMSALOMINSA, she's going to be joining the Maelstrom with the Admiral. And I'm only doing that because I want to see what the differences are with the different free companies. Technically, when I looked online, it said it doesn't make any difference which one you, not free company, it says it doesn't matter which one you join. But so far I have a few different characters in with the Maelstrom, with the Admiral. But I'm curious to have at least one character with one of the other, one of the other grand companies. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you had the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of LIMSALOMINSA to the shores of glory. I look so overwhelmed. Lady Menphilia? Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhaps a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on the matter. As you know, the grand companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the marital, economic, and technological resources of their respected city-states in time of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in UL'DAH: the Maelstrom of LIMSALOMINSA, the Order of the Twin Adder in GRIDANIA, and the Immortal Flames of UL'DAH. Serving a grand company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, I'm having the burpees, I'm sorry. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the grand companies best deserve your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that It is no small choice you face. Ah, a thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the three city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing your addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. My lady, not my lady. Ugh. Very well. Let Tiny hear our leader speak, then return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. Tataru is like, oh my god, I'm going back to my desk. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited for the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope we can continue to rely on your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It would allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is time you made ready with your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembered services are due to take place. Okay. Alrighty. I have a feeling I'll probably only get tinybishie to to 30 and to the event, but we'll see. I got Izuna, so I'm happy about that. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, GRIDANIA's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services. The Elder Seed Seer, Khan Isena, will deliver her address at Miketo's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it is possible that the orders of the service might change. Still, there's not much we can do about it, so make GRIDANIA your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to UL'DAH, where the Flame General Rauban Aldilian will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in LIMSALOMINSA, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merlwib Brufishwin will be given her address. I love her so much. I cannot say her name. I've heard her name said, and it's like, huh? My brain just like goes kaput, and it just malfunctions, does not understand, cannot retain memory. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry THAL, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go. I hope you find the remembered services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-state in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing. And luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Very well. Oh, I'm getting sleepy already. What the heck? Okay. GRIDANIA. Everybody has that cute little kitty but me. I need that cute little kitty. Didn't mean to attack the mic like that. I got turned around. Oops. Okay, I'm going to mute my mic for this part. Hopefully it's not too loud.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that GRIDANIA was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, GRIDANIA flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of GRIDANIA. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
All
forest.
the elementals!
If you'll permit me, Alfie No. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The XIV are unquestionably the most troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians. Until recently, at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed by roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramuda. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict the last resort. Though they clash with the XIV ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving GRIDANIA vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I wager. Meanwhile, the XIV will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? Okay, now off to UL'DAH. Oh, UL'DAH, I could just do this. It's free. I'm getting so sleepy, I might have to lay down after this episode. What the heck is that? Oh my god. Okay, well. And the Royal Promenade, so Chamber of Rule. Okay, here we go.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamal herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the UL'DAH dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of THAL have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of UL'DAH!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as THAL's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the UL'DAH wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided UL'DAH stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from UL'DAH, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall UL'DAH. As UL'DAH prospers, so shall her people.
Yeah, for UL'DAH!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raoban? People of UL'DAH, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of UL'DAH. Yet those who measured that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of UL'DAH lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of UL'DAH, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
Making sure my mic was working. The UL'DAHs have a long history of conflict with the UL'DAH, a beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by the look of your distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The UL'DAHs do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems, though they have been quiet these past 5 years. The Garleans have not gone away. Garleans. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and UL'DAH has no clear policy on how to deal with them. Excuse me. After all, not even the Sultana's coffers are bottomless. And even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrits. It has been observed that the UL'DAH are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the UL'DAHs send their forces to smite the Primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is brought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder then that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. For their sake, I hope that the Flames General word struck a chord with you. Okay, and lastly, LIMSALOMINSA. I'm so very tired. I got very little sleep. Thanks to how late that stream ended. Here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Proceed to the stateroom, yes.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. Yeah. 700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, LIMSALOMINSA has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Carteneau. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of LIMSALOMINSA. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom. and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin
bastards!
have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well. A crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Move
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, LIMSALOMINSA is plagued by 2 beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence wasn't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lominsans' backyard. And that is to say, not of eternal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight among themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lominsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, They must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take the decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Tiny, this is Minfilia. Are you well? You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Walking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Okay. So let's get back to the Walking Sand. Oh my god. I'm looking at the chat where people are singing. That's hilarious. Now, so far I've only chosen LIMSALOMINSA. So I haven't chosen any of the other Grand Companies yet. So it'll be interesting to see if what the differences are. Welcome back. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Tiny? But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. Okay.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and 7th Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Okay, now I get to pick a grand company. So I'm gonna go with the Flame Officer. Oh, hello. Welcome back, adventurer. I take it General Raubon's words kindled a fire within you? Join the Immortal Flames. Yes. Excellent. I fear that the incident with the traitor may have soured your opinion of us. Excuse me. It gladdens me to see that isn't the case. But before we can count on you as one of our own, you must be formally inducted to our ranks. The company you keep, Immortal Flames. The Immortal Flame recruitment officer seems eager to welcome you to UL'DAH's Grand Company. Please proceed to the Hall of Flames and identify yourself to the personnel officer. I will notify him of your coming. With your strength joined to ours, we shall surely prevail over our enemies, be they beastmen or Imperials. Alright. Cool. Okay. So I get to go to UL'DAH. And actually, let's teleport there real quick. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here, and then in the next episode I'm gonna go talk to the personnel officer at the Hall of Flames. So that's gonna be all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe, stay happy, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!